Hello, my name is Victor Stantri and I'm one of your tour directors in Romania. Today we're going to try to discover the secrets behind one of the most popular Romanian figures in history, and of course I'm talking about Vlad Dracula. It's not by mistake that we're here in Bucharest today, because contrary to popular belief, Dracula wasn't a count in Transylvania. He was actually a prince of Wallachia, and one of his royal residences was right here in Bucharest. Right behind us is the Church of Saint Anton, which is located next to the old court of Vlad III, which wasn't the royal seat of Romania until Vlad III was killed.
In this short video, we will try to introduce to you who Dracula really was, how he became a legend, and ultimately what was his demise. Please join us on this short adventure to better understand the character Dracula. At his birthplace, we will uncover history that will unravel the mystery behind Dracula and the myth of the vampire, and finally his end. To do so, we will need to travel to Transylvania through the Carpathian Mountains.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sighisoara. Behind us is the door to the house of Vlad Dracula, the father of Vlad III. Vlad III was born here in 1431 to mother Vasilisa Mușat, the daughter of a Moldavian ruler, and to his father Vlad II Dracula, member of the Order of the Dragons. Today, the house is commemorated by a marble plaque, and also it serves as a restaurant and a house of horrors. But what is the truth about Vlad III and about Sighisoara? In a few moments, we'll meet a local from Sighisoara that will try to shed some light on the very complex history of Vlad III and of Wallachia.
Se aduce la cunoștință publică să vă anunțăm că nu s-a întâmplat nimic deosebit. Dar aici bine ați venit pentru turismul românesc. Mulțumesc frumos! În 60 de limbi. Am zis! English, the gates of the citadel are open for you. Welcome to Sighisoara. Thank you very much for visiting. I said so or so I said. Japonia Nikon ga suki desu. Sighisoara e youkoso. E irashai. Watashi wa taiko tadaki desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Teiko kara minasan ni arigatou gozaimashita. Konnichiwa. Magyar ungurește erezek mogukod jól nálunk Székesváron mondom, Isten hozott Székesváron mondom, köszönöm szépen. Deutschland willkommen in Schäßburg, guten Tag, ich habe gesprochen. Dänisch Danemarka, willkommen zu Sighisoara, zack, zack, no problem. Nederland, Hollanda, willkommen in Sighisoara, danke well for your Besuch. España, las puertas están abiertas para ustedes, bienvenidos. Muchas gracias, hola he dicho. Français, je dis bonne journée, merci beaucoup, les visites de la salle de Sighisoara. Bienvenue à Sighisoara, je dis ajuze. Polish, Polonia, witamy was Sighisoara, dziękuję bardzo. Bole kilorek, no problem. Românește, bine ați venit în bijuteria medievală a României, destinație care trebuie descoperită. Câteva saluturi. Asta face toboșarul de 18 ani. Am zis.
Hello Dorin, pleased to meet you. My name is Victor Stanciu.
My name is Dorin Stanciu. I am drummer Citadel Medieval.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for agreeing to this interview with us. Dorin, we have a couple of questions for you. First of all, what is your role inside of the Citadel of Sighisoara?
Deci rolul toboșarului este inedit astăzi în cetatea medievală, pentru că acest personaj în secolul al XVII-lea avea 4 funcții: pompier, gornist, bocter și toboșar. Munca lui de bază era pasnicul, bocterul. Mergea cu făclile peste usele înguste și spunea în latină silențium. Asta înseamnă liniște. Oamenii dormeau liniștiți când luminile erau aprinse. Gornistul anunța atacurile asupra cetății, iar toboșarul procesele publice. Sighisoara fiind, avea dreptul de a condamna la moarte. Ca simbol, suntem la turnul cu ceas, cele 4 turnulețe simbolizează autonomia judiciară, dreptul de a condamna la moarte.
A couple of secrets that you can tell us about the city.
Vreți să vă spun un secret al orașului Sighisoara. Deci aici, foarte aproape de noi, este casa Vlad Dracu. Vlad Dracu, tatăl lui Vlad III, și-a bătut moneda, ducatul de argint nou, să adune armata împotriva turcilor. Între anii 1431-1436 a locuit aici și se presupune că s-a născut Vlad Țepeș. E posibil să se nască aici Vlad Țepeș, domnitorul țării românești. Ce important era astăzi în România? Am zis!
The clock tower of Sighisoara. Dorin, can you tell us a few things about the history of the city?
Da, istoria cetății este inedită. Este cea mai bine păstrată cetate în cele 7 cetăți din Transylvania. Suntem la turnul cu ceas, cum a spus dumneavoastră. Turnul cu ceas e simbolul orașului Sighisoara. Dar înainte de a vorbi despre turnul cu ceas, cetatea medievală datează din secolul al XIII-lea. Sașii au fost aduși aici de regele Ghezul al II-lea al Ungariei în secolul al XII-lea și au organizat bresle și meșteșuguri, meserii. Adică au fost 14 turnuri de apărare, 15 bresle, 40 de meșteșuguri și 4 bastioane de artilerie. Astăzi, în cetate, de la sfârșitul secolului al XIX-lea, mai sunt 9 turnuri de apărare în picioare. Și începem cu turnul cu ceas. Unde suntem acum? Simbolul orașului Sighisoara. În anul 1556, în turnul cu ceas a fost sediul sfatului popular. În 30 aprilie 1676, un mare incendiu a devastat și orașul de jos și cetatea medievală, după legenda locului care este așa: o văduvă și-a încălzit apa să spele rufele pe dealul alăturat cetății, da? N-a fost atentă la vânt, vântul a ajuns la flacăra în orașul de jos, pe urmă în cetatea medievală, și au ars 600 de case și acoperișuri. Toba este instrument al meditației. Cine ascultă toba, ascultă tăcere, spunea George Braque. Suntem într-adevăr pe strada școlii, unde este scara acoperită sau scara școlarului, construită mult mai târziu, în 1642. Țapele elevii de calamitățile naturale. Atenție, sașii au fost foarte exacti și preciși. 6 zile se merge la școală, luni, marți, miercuri, joi, vineri, sâmbătă, a 7-a de odihnă și de rugăciune. Astăzi merg elevii și învață limba germană, limba română, la liceul Iosef Faltic, pentru că prima școală din Sighisoara s-a construit în 1522. Mai sus de prima școală este cel mai important monument din Sighisoara, Biserica din Deal. Construcția ei începe în 1345, pe o veche capelă romanică găsită acolo în 1200. Așa că vizitați bijuteria medievală a României, destinație care trebuie descoperită. Thank you very much for visiting.
We are going to conclude our visit to Sighisoara in the highest point in the city, next to the evangelical church that's next to a high school and a cemetery that doubles as a park. When they were nothing more but mere children, Vlad and his younger brother Radu the Fair were sent to the Ottoman Empire as royal prisoners, a warranty that their father Vlad II will remain faithful to the Sultan. It was devastating for Vlad. He grew up angry, and his hatred towards his captors grew stronger every day. During his captivity, both his father and older brother, Mircea II, were killed by boyards. When he was sent back by the Turks to occupy the throne of Wallachia, Vlad Țepeș swore revenge on the Ottomans and the boyards.
We will now leave for Bran on the trail of Dracula's legend.
We have just reached Bran Castle, or Dracula's castle. Behind us sits one of the oldest fortifications in Romania that was constructed during the 13th century in order to protect the border between Wallachia and Transylvania. Vlad Țepeș used this fortification to protect the passage of Bran, that was also part of the Silk Road, from the invading neighboring countries that were trying to disrupt commerce in the region. It was also the border between Transylvania and Wallachia, and there was a strong treaty between Vlad Țepeș and the people of Brașov until the people of Brașov neglected the conditions that were imposed by Vlad Țepeș. Vlad Țepeș, of course, retaliated in the most gruesome manner and starting impaling the people of Brașov, especially the merchants that had disrupted the treaty. There is a legend about Vlad meeting 3 of the Ottoman messengers, and because they weren't versed in the ethics of Wallachian courtesy, Vlad Țepeș nailed their turbans to their heads, because in Wallachia, whenever you met the king or prince or lord, you had to take off your hat.
Vlad was well known by all of his countrymen and the neighboring countries as a fearless leader and a cruel man. His favorite method of execution was impaling, thus the name Vlad the Impaler, but he would also resort to cutting off the hands of thieves, burning people alive, and collecting the ears and noses of Ottoman soldiers as trophies. One of the first atrocities that he committed was the Easter Eve massacre. He invited all of the boyards to his court for a banquet on Easter Eve, and he proceeded by locking the door and killing everyone inside. He also killed the families of the boyards, so there will be no one left to retaliate. Legend has it that in his war against the Ottomans he captured well over 2,000 soldiers. He proceeded to impale them, and overnight he positioned them through a forest north of the Danube, to the horror of the other Turkish armies trying to invade.
The father of Vlad Țepeș, Vlad I, was actually a member of a order of knight that was called the Order of the Dragons. The name Dracula comes from the Romanian word for dragon, which is drac. That's where he inherited the name of Dracula from. Actually, Dracula wasn't named Dracula, he was named Dracula, son of the devil. In Romanian culture, the dragon isn't a symbol of might, but actually is a symbol of the devil, and that's why Vlad Țepeș was associated with dark practices. The Brashovian merchants printed more articles about Vlad Țepeș being a vampire than there were Bibles printed in the 15th century, and because of that, Vlad Țepeș remained in general knowledge known as a blood-sucking vampire. In Romanian mythology, vampires are associated with the strigoi, which come from the Greek name for Strix. Both Strix and Strigoi are undead that come out of the graves at night to suck the blood of their relatives.
Continue our journey to Brasov, the crown of the Carpathians, where we hope to find out more about Dracula.
To Brașov, Kronstadt, or the City of Crown. Behind us stands the Caterina Gate, one of the medieval entrances to the city of Brașov. Believe it or not, there was a tie between Vlad Țepeș and Brașov. Vlad Țepeș had a lover in Brașov named Ekaterina Sighe. The love affair between Ekaterina and Vlad Țepeș started when Ekaterina was 17 and Vlad Țepeș was 35. She was the daughter of the former leader of the Weavers Guild, and this displeased greatly the other merchant guilds. She was kidnapped during the night by the wives of the merchants, and she was beaten, her head was shaved, and she was publicly shamed. Vlad Țepeș had clashed before with the merchants guild, but this time he threatened that he would set the entire city on fire. Because the Brashovian merchants knew that Vlad Țepeș was a man of his word, they released Ekaterina. Out of all the women in his life, it is said that Vlad Țepeș only loved Ekaterina, his mistress. it seems that the monster did actually have a soft spot. Our story is slowly coming to an end, and we're going to make our way back to Bucharest, but not without one last stop. Although one of the most successful generals fighting against the Ottomans, Vlad was betrayed by his own people and killed. He was stabbed in the back by 3 lances. They then decapitated him, and his head was sent to Constantinople in a jar of honey. There are 2 supposed burial sites for Vlad III, one of which is right here inside the church of Snagov, right in front of the altar, and the other one is in Giurgiu at the monastery of Comana. Vlad Dracula has made a reputation as a cruel ruler, but despite that there is a lot of love and admiration from the Romanians. Because of his fairness and his strength, during his time there were no beggars, thieves, and there was no blood tribute. We hope you enjoyed this journey with us, and we welcome you to visit Romania to discover more of its hidden jewels and tales.